Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, so roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows. See how they played as karmic themes. So the readings have a therapy style to them because half the time, we don't understand why a person's doing what they're doing, why we would be attracting a person that triggers us. What is the whole spiritual significance of the connection? Because we want to be able to not have any karmic consequences. Number one, negative karmic consequences from dealing with a person, but also to create some sort of balance, right? Again, soulmate connections all teach, but those past life karmic mates have the potential to really come into our life and take us off course, give us the perception as if they ruined something within our life. A lot of times when we can't forgive someone, we can't forgive because we're still viewing ourselves as if that there's something wrong with us. Like we feel that the person that did whatever they did affected us in a way that now we can't manifest whatever it is that we're trying to manifest, is what I'm trying to get at. So again, if you were in a toxic connection previously to the connection that you're in now, you would find the connection to be difficult, and not even because your person's doing anything. Is to understand if you were in an environment that conditioned you, programmed you to be on guard, meaning like you couldn't relax in connection. You always were hyper vigilant, waiting for something to happen because you were in a connection with someone that was toxic before. You'd have to heal yourself. A lot of people don't heal. What happens is that they come into into new connections with old traumas and then just accumulate more trauma, and that plays out as more karmic themes, more negative karmic themes that will keep a person believing that they can't really manifest the things that they're trying to manifest. So the readings are deeper. We do always want to know what that person's going to do because we have an ego part of ourselves. But really, if we're dealing with someone that's a past life karmic mate, chances are it would be wise not to be invested any which way with a person, because again, their negative karma can influence your life. That's why. Now, I never know why I say what I say in the beginning of a reading. I let spirit just guide. But what we'll always see is a little bit of residue from whatever it is that I just channeled play out within the actual channel. So we'll see how that plays out. All righty, let's see what the word of the video is. I want to grab my other deck too, because lately I've been pulling two cards. So you don't have to write both words, just get one. And I just like to do it because when you do readings every day, sometimes you pull out the same card like a few days in a row, and it's like, what the hell, no matter how much you shuffle. And the reason is why is because when you're dealing with people that have spiritual blocks, which are shadows, play out as these karmic themes, and the person is really stuck. They don't just change their mind about something. And in the fact that they don't change their perception, the emotion is still there. The actions are still there. The underlying energy is the same because they haven't changed. Now that just kind of flew out. And look, you'd never believe what just flew out. And we're going to take it too. Stuck. And that's what I was trying to say. A lot of times you'll see the energy is just like the same energy. It's like, oh, it's the same theme. So like I said, I like to pull a secondary card to give us a little bit more of a perspective, go a little bit deeper. Because a lot of times when we do have fragmented thoughts, we have many different feelings, many different thoughts about it. And so it's like peeling an onion, right? That's what they say. You have to unpeel the onion. Why is the person stuck? And we're going to see again, they're stuck because, again, of betrayal. They're stuck because this person only has bad relationships. They don't really believe in love. They've never really believed in love. It doesn't mean that they haven't had passion. It doesn't mean that they were never taken with someone and like someone, but it never lasted. And the thing is that this person has a bad way of betraying the people that they've been in a long-term relationship with. It's like all of a sudden one day they just check out. They don't want to be in the connection anymore. And they don't really talk about it. And they kind of just, just change their behaviorisms towards that person. And it creates a lot of chaos. And it's almost like this person never wants to be the one to end a connection. They feel bad. They feel bad. So they would rather do something passive aggressively to get the other person to react. This person is stuck because, hey, the person that they're connected to isn't doing anything because they're quite aware of what they're doing. They're like, oh, you're purposely holding back from me. You want me to be the one that ends it with you. Now, I believe that the person that your person is like connected to, like they're connected to you, but they're also connected to this karmic, that this karmic has done everything and everything to keep this person stuck in hope that they would change their minds, that they would again like give up on you, like, or I don't think that karmic knows that like it's you or who their person is connected to, but they know you're checked out. You don't want to be here. You're not giving anything emotionally to this connection anymore. Where I do believe at one point they would give once in a while, even though they told you that they were in separation, that they were getting a divorce, that they didn't love this person, that this person was more of a nuisance. I believe that they drew a perception that they didn't love this person at all, and that's a lie. It's like they do love that person, but they're not in love with that person. So the betrayal is the fact that this person doesn't really know why they do what they do. They just know that there's always consequences for what they do. So even though that there's a connection between you and them, they're not really moving. The same as they don't want to be the one to end things, they don't want to be the person to start anything because they don't want to be held accountable. So they make the other person do all the work. They give the illusion that they have feelings for you. They'll use certain words to make you think that, but they give very little. And knowing that they can emotionally trigger you with just their words, with just to the point that they'll come across as maybe a little insecure, maybe afraid. So again, that's going to trigger you to do more for them. And I believe that that's not what's happening. I believe that you're not doing anything. And that's why this person's stuck. And they're also getting impatient in the fact that, you're not, should have been back by now. This person perceived that you were going to like come and rescue them, fix them, heal them, or just be with them, and to be with them so that they don't really have to really feel what it feels like to be attached to this karmic person. I believe that person that's connected to you has always been connected to this karmic person, but has always had a side piece, which made it easier to be with the karmic. Now that you're not going to be that person to get them out of their situation, because they inevitably would need someone to come in to this connection so that it doesn't look like, well, they lured themselves out of the connection, that again, the blame goes on somebody else because this person has been connected to this karmic for a long time and has played that game for a long time, where the karmic actually got a little cocky and thinks, I win, I'm always going to win. But the truth of the matter is that they're not winning because you're not playing the game. So it's like what they see is that your person is like going through their time, their money, their energy, and they're getting essentially very little, if nothing, in return. And you're not giving anything. And now your person is getting really impatient because you're not coming back. And the reason why is because they're stuck in the way that they don't do anything. They don't know what to do because they don't know what they want. So they want somebody else to make the decision for them, meaning that somebody is going to cave, someone's going to give in. But this person is either going to get mad and tell your person to take a hike and then they'll come to you, or you're going to go to them. But they're not going to make the decision to just come to you alone. That's the energy there. And it's because on some level they're insecure. So even though there is a connection, this person is disassociated from what they feel. They don't listen to themselves intuitively. They've been living in a connection with someone that they don't really want to be in a connection with. It's like, it was a bearable year. I feel like on some times this person would go out with this person. Sometimes they would act like a family, but I don't believe that it was on an everyday level. It was when this person felt like it. It's like in their mind, they always knew that they were not going to stay with this person. It's just this person, again, the karmic felt, I can convince you to stay. I can be everything you want me to be. I will create the life that you will not be able to leave. But what this karmic is seeing is that that's not love. And what your person is feeling is that's not love. That's not, but again, your person was able to stay disassociated because in order to stay that way, they have to do outside things and have outside things like distractions. And I feel like they've always been able to do that. The thing is, I feel like they can't move on because they have such a strong connection to you. So they can't go back to that way of being disassociated, because to be disassociated, it means that you don't feel. This person doesn't have control over the fact that they have feelings for you. That obviously they didn't know that this was going to be the dynamic when they first came into contact with you. They just thought that, hey, well, they were going to stay stuck in a connection with this karmic and that they're, fun on the sides. They would just live like compartmentalized. They would live like, again, get that emotional support and give their emotional attention to one person, get their passion met through whoever. So again, that when they met you, they thought that that's how it was going to be played out with you. What they see is that you're not that person, and they do have regret. Because now they can feel that you're like a little resentful, because what you see is that they lied, that they were not in the midst of a divorce, that they actually had feelings. They were living very compartmentalized, and that means they were living very selfishly. So again, how you see it is, yeah, you didn't want to give to me. You wanted to stay in this low vibe energy, to stay connected to a karmic, and sometimes act like a family to them and actually give the most to them, but you're not even consistent with them. And then not really give me anything except for passion, which why I would want that, I don't know. This is you, Virgo. But it's like how you see it is this person abandoned you, and they know it. They know it because they acted like they didn't care, because the connection was, again, scared them. So it's, again, you didn't come and give this person anything. So they're sitting there with connected to a karmic, that they're waiting for that karmic to end it, to throw them out, to do something so they can leave the door a little bit open, because they don't 100% know, hey, what are you thinking? So this is how this person strategizes. This is how this person thinks that they're so smart. They think that they're so smart. This is why they can't make decisions and they stay stuck in a situation, because it's actually comfortable for them to be connected and living like this way, very fragmented. But in order to live this way, again, that means that they're very selfish. They're only thinking about their self. They're going to come into other people's lives here for a good time, not a long time. You're going to feel as if you were tricked, swindled, used, because no one would agree to being with somebody that gives so little. So again, this person that doesn't really care and understand there's a part of this person that doesn't even know who they are. To stay connected to that karmic, it means that they don't really know who they are, because when you're really living your life and you love your life unfolds. A path unfolds because you're in life. You're invested in life. And part of being invested in life is doing what you love, finding yourself. That means going on adventures. That means investing in yourself. This person's not investing in themselves. What they do is in order to stay connected to a karmic, they again run around with other people and live very fragmented. So it doesn't mean that they don't have a job. They have a job. They go off to work. From the outside, they look normal. But in order for them to satisfy their needs, and stay connected to this person, they have to again get their emotional needs and their passions met through outside things. And again, that means they're not creating themselves. That means that they don't know who they are. So understand, you're going to trigger them because you're someone that does know who you are, and you're someone that holds to a certain standard, and this person is going to get triggered by that. Because as long as they stay connected to a karmic, they can't hold to your standard. So, like, again, this person feels like you confronting them on the things that you need to do. They perceive it as you lashing out at them, that they're your enemy, that you have anger issues, where it's not that you have anger issues. It's that this person wants to make it all about your reaction instead of the dysfunctional way that they're living. So you just saying anything is going to be seen as like aggressive, intrusive, because they're insecure. So really, that's what it is. For them to stay in a negative connection and get their needs met through outside things, it takes them further away from who they are. So they don't know who they are. So they feel inadequate around someone that's actually coming from a balanced state, where here it is, if you're investing in yourself, if you're loving on yourself and you're not codependent, that's triggering for this person, because again, they're insecure. Now, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't want to be with you. They would want to be with you because they like what it looks like. Again, how other people perceive you, and that's going to make them look better. But again, it's because they don't know who they are. It goes back to that. So again, instead they create this persona that they're a rebel without a cause. Like they need to be different just for the sake of it, where really, again, what we see, what matters is what's going on the inside. So the person doesn't know who they are. Like I said, they're insecure. So they create the persona. But again, it's an illusion. It's an illusion to make you perceive and hope that, you'll be, oh, don't hurt yourself. Oh, don't do that. Don't put yourself on limb. Again, don't not care about yourself. Oh, you do deserve love. Like rebel doesn't need love. I'm bad boy. I'm bad girl. I don't need that. I'm a loner. I'm a rebel. Like almost like, like creating the persona means to what you're doing when you do that is you're emulating, you're acting. That's not really who you are. So this person like is overcompensating or undercompensating, but all to get your energy in hopes, hey, you have feelings for me. You care about me. You're going to want to save me. You're going to want to give me, you're going to want to rescue me. Again, you're going to want to fix me. And understand that would be if you were unhealed. So again, the person, again, acts dramatic because they're lost, hoping that you will be the martyr. That's not what happens. What happened is that you stepped away from them again, because like now they're haunted by it, because they, in order for their little plan to work, you would have had to come into their life and kind of rescue them, be the savior, again, well, I can't leave my situation because this person, again, acting like the martyr, giving up, they're giving too much. Oh, what a good person that they are. They want you to perceive, I'm a good person, I'm doing the right thing. No, 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 no. You don't have an identity. That's why you stay connected to that person. You stay connected to that person because the persona that your life is working from whatever it looks like on the outside, but your life isn't working. This is why you're stuck, because part of you wants to really live authentically and really step into your true self. This is this person that's connected to you. So they want to be with you on one hand, but on the other hand, to leave that environment, well, that means they have to step into a new version of themselves and they don't really know how things are going to go. They kind of feel more superior in the environment that they're in because, hey, they've been living compartmentalized this whole time, giving to the karmic sometimes, and then getting their needs met from other places. So now, whether the karmic knew it or not, I don't think that the karmic knew it as much as this person was doing what they did. Maybe they knew that they had a fling here or there, but and that they were a little detached. But what they see now is that this person isn't doing anything, that they're just kind of sitting there. And they know intuitively you don't really want to be here, but you're using my money, you're using my food, you're using my resources, and you're taking from me, and you're not giving me anything in return. But how they feel is like, well, if I can do it, I'm going to do it, like almost like you've lived so insecure before to the karmic. So why all of a sudden? Well, because the karmic's like, so now you're not giving me anything. Where sometimes we would go out, sometimes we would have. So again, your person's acting like the rebel to you, acting like, the bad boy, bad girl, hoping that you're going to come in and be the savior. And what you are seeing is, wait a minute, but you're sitting there holding back from me, staying connected to a person that you don't want to stay connected to, acting like you don't have a choice, but you have a choice. You're stuck. You don't know what you want because, hey, to be with me requires you to step it up. And so you don't really know if you want to do that. You don't really know. So this is what this person is seeing. Ooh. Well, it's so funny. It's like they were in a karmic contract, but I feel that that karmic contract with that karmic is about to end and that they don't even know that it's about to end. That's the thing. They've been sitting here on the fence the whole time, thinking that they have all the power again, and really they don't have the power because what happens is that I feel like they're gonna wind up with nobody. And this person right now is stressed out because, like I said, that they're coming to the end of this karmic contract. It's almost like the person that's connected to them is saying, enough. I already know, like, I know what it is that you're doing now. You don't want to be here. You're making it look like I'm making you be here. You want to be here because of whatever benefits that you're getting. And so they actually pulled the plug, and that's why they're really stressed out because what they see is you didn't come through. They were getting impatient. They didn't come and get you. Intuitively, they know that they should have contacted you. They were holding back, hoping that you would contact them so they didn't have to really leave their situation. Now the karmic pulled the plug. The end of their thing is like the karmic is like, I don't forgive you. Like it's almost like whatever has transpired between them is like they can't go on, they can't forgive. Like it's gone. This karmic is so mad. And really with you, this person never asked for an apology. So it's almost like this person was so prideful and has such an ego and acted like they had all the full control. Now it's again, they're burdened, and they're burdened because, they're going to have to pay for what they did with the karmic. Karmic's going to get them back somehow. And really, even if it's just to throw them out of their home and to be like, well, now you got to find a new place to live. That's a big burden for this person, especially if they don't have all their ducks in a row. And we see that they don't, because the person that lives so fragmented is so caught up in this type of behavior that they're not creating themselves, and the energy, the negative energy begins to bleed into other areas of this life because of the fact that this person is very imbalanced. And again, so what do? They don't know what to do. Why did they stay stuck? Because, hey, that what they do is I'm just going to not think about it. I'm going to avoid the situation and it's going to go away. What this person does is they drink. They, again, stay in this low vibrational energy of acting like the victim, acting like that, again, that they don't have control, almost like that everyone's turning on them. When meanwhile, you didn't turn on them. You know, this person was never true to you, and they never even asked for an apology. They were not nice to that karmic. They were playing that karmic because they wanted to be able to dip out and go and hang out with you and then go back to the karmic, because that's what they've done previously in other relationships. And all, but now this time things have changed because you didn't play along. So they held out on the karmic, knowing that, well, if you knew that they went back to the karmic at all, were with them on a sexual level, intimate level, well, that you would be gone. They were hoping to keep you stuck, that the karmic would eventually get into a fight with them. They'd be able to dip out, come to you, hang out with you, and rush back to the karmic. And that, like, this is how this person normally operated. None of that happened. What happened is you held back, the karmic got more angry, saw them for exactly who this person is that's connected to you. You see exactly who this person is that's connected to you. And what this person is like, they can't avoid it. They can't avoid it. They know. So what do? They just check out. They just check out. They just don't like get involved. And again, and part of checking out is this person also will eventually run off to somebody else. Again, hook up with somebody else and repeat whatever this negative karmic cycle is, but they're going to be bringing in a lot of negative karma with them. They're not facing their issue. You know, the irony is that this person like really feels like that has a fear of death, right? It's again, when a person has a fear of death, it's because they don't know who they are. It's that they don't live a life like that. So because normally when you're living a good life, you don't even think about death. You don't. It's like you're in the moment. You're in the present moment. This person actually has a fear of death, and it's because they feel inadequate. They go around betraying people because they project all their insecurities onto the person that they're with, and hoping that whoever's going to be with them is going to martyr them. This person needs to heal their inner child. And until then, they will only over focus on physical attraction and the physical body and take risks and really be impulsive because they have addictive behavior. And, you know, until they heal those core beliefs, they'll always be triggered. Until they heal their self-esteem issues, they're always going to be triggered. They're always going to project. They're always going to. And that's why this person does what they did. They thought that they were real slick. They thought that they were going to be able to strategize and really have their cake and eat it too. What they see is you didn't do that. You're evolving your life. You're not invested. This karmic is going to have their fun with this person because they're seeing it. They're really hurt. They've invested a lot of time. And your person's good, like, again, is just going to stay drunk or wasted and run to somebody else and unfortunately, whoever they wind up with is going to inherit a lot of negative karma because this person is not really going to be able to support themselves. They're not really going to be able, they're not emotionally capable of showing up. So essentially, they're going to be inheriting a big baby, someone that really is not capable of forming those emotional connections. So we have to say, why would you attract this person into your life? A good thing, though, you recognized, so you didn't give, but we have to nevertheless say, why did this person come into your life? What are you supposed to learn by somebody that is attached to somebody else that like was thinking that they could just dip out and come back and create this that what was the whole point? Overwhelmed. These are the inner child wound cards we see. These karmic patterns tend to replay without our lives when we don't heal the inner child wounds. Space, self-love, source, disassociated, imagination. You know what's so funny is that yes, there was trauma. You did go through trauma because whenever we have a disassociation, it means that you understand what happened, but there's pieces of the experience that you don't remember. And because of that, you emotionally feel like you're not even going through it. You're like, yes, I know I went through it, but I don't have a feeling like it was like almost as if you're watching somebody else go through it, even though you're the person that went through it. And then because you don't have an emotion, because you don't remember aspects of the trauma. And so I believe that you did go through trauma and it had to be often. So I'm assuming it was emotional trauma. So again, a child can't run away when they don't trust a parent or when they don't feel safe around a parent. I feel like for some, you grew up in an alcoholic family, and even if the parent that was in charge of you wasn't the alcoholic, they were someone that was very angry, they were rageful, they had no patience. And because of that, there was a lot of emotional abuse because this person projected a lot of their anger. They projected their pain onto you as a child. And that's why, again, number one, you attracted a person that was projecting their pain onto you. That's number one, because you need to learn forgiveness. So that's why, because part of the integration process is that we have to see. But what you did was you checked out as a child. Because you can't run away. If you're a child, you're responsible for your mother and father to still take care of you. But you escaped through your imagination. You detached. So people perceived that maybe that there was something wrong with you when really you were just, again, daydreaming a lot because it was a safer space to be in. And so if you were daydreaming, however, it means that there's a lot of like nothing. Like you don't really know who you are 100% because, hey, you were too busy surviving. You were too afraid to do anything in the environment like that you were in. So there was a lack of support. So again, there's also a lot of space. So you're not your trauma. If you take the trauma away, it's going to look like there's nothing there when really spirit says, no, that's when you should have been like childlike and creating yourself. Children dream about what they want to do when they get older. And they put the energy, they pretend, they emulate, and they are consistent. You were not allowed to do that. Like, again, there was emotional abuse. You were told who you were, and you were told, you know, who you were, not even from a positive perspective. And you began to live from that level of consciousness because it was safer. And so, but really, Spirit says, but that's not. So you have to, again, give yourself self-love. It was overwhelming, but when it was so overwhelming to be emotionally abused, that's when you have a very strong connection to source, to God, because it's through the astral realm, the imagination. That's why they always say the child that survives thrives, because when the child is able to imagine through the imagination, they're able to become it, right? How do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. So once the child grows up and applies themselves and grounds themselves, they have a clear, decisive image of what they want to manifest. And they're able to manifest it quite easily to the point that the people that mocked this person or perceive this person as stupid or less than it, God is displaying its glory. So again, which happens to trigger a lot of people that, again, well, you shouldn't have that. But again, Spirit says, yes, you should. So again, you're not here by mistake, you're here by God's design. So in healing yourself, It was to reparent yourself and to utilize the gifts. So even though there was trauma, you have a strong connection to source. So all you need to do is give yourself self-love by pouring into yourself and filling the space with adventures and doing things and things that inspire you and things that stir up your soul that are going to help connect you deeply and passionately to other people and situations so that you fully embody that consciousness. Then you're not overwhelmed, you're present, you're in the moment, is what Spirit says. And that sets you up, and that sets you up. Well, that just popped out. That sets you up for the grand journey. What is the grand journey? All experiences, good and bad, shapes your soul's evolution so that you can learn and grow. So again, part of this experience might have not been that positive, but it helps you learn and grow again, and preparing you as you are on your grand journey as well to be on your soul's path. It's again, so you're listening to the whisper of your soul guiding your own and aligning your actions and values. And that helps us when we become a clear conduit for spirit to work through. When you heal the effects of your trauma by integrating the spiritual lesson, and part of integrating is understanding how you are blocking yourself from manifesting, well, then you can really hear, again, the higher self, the spirit part of self, the God part of self. You're able to see the signs and the symbols that come your way when you are interactive in life to help open a path that's made specifically for you. It's the co-creation process, which is part of the grand journey, right? And yes, you will be placed like in certain situations that are good and bad to help you grow, to help shape your consciousness. But everything leads you back to the energy of unconditional love because the universe, which is God, brings you everything that you need to help you evolve into the highest state of consciousness, which is this universal consciousness, which is that Christ consciousness, which is unconditional love. So Spirit says it's about rising above it, meaning seeing things from the highest perception. So seeing beyond your immediate fears, again, to elevate your perspective. That's the only way you're going to evolve into a higher state of consciousness, is to see things through the lens of unconditional love. And that's the only way. And that's it. It's going to be what helps you release your limiting beliefs that no longer serves you. This is how the universe begins to change your mind and your heart about what you perceive you can have, who you perceive that you are. That Spirit says, you're not that with that what was said that you are. You are again what you become. Again, it's all about your transformational process that leads you to infinite possibilities. So right now, you're just learning to flow with grace and obtain unshakable faith, which is, again, believing without seeing. And Spirit says, all helping you evolve into the highest states of consciousness, which is unconditional love, so you can become as abundant. And that means in every different way. That means financially, that means with people that love you, and just to have a very rich life. And I'm not just talking monetarily, I'm talking about with experience. And Spirit ends us off with one more message, which is joy, like a child. Discover joy. This is perfect. The Spirit saying you weren't allowed to be a child. So again, like a child, discover joy. In the simplicity of life, happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joys is a great source of light. So Spirit says right now it's about, again, filling yourself up with joy. And that happens when you are, again, becoming the expression of love. You are, again, attracting experiences that are going to bring happiness. That is the only way to integrate the spiritual lesson and really embody the new consciousness, coming from a place of fear, integration, by becoming yourself, by helping you to transform your spiritual blocks. The universe is bringing you the situations and the experiences that are helping you evolve back to your original energy, which is unconditional love. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.